We need some kind of coding environment so that we can type in a program and see the results. The first step is generally to use an editor, which allows us to type in the code and then save it in a file. Then we can use either a compiler or an interpreter. And there are also some more sophisticated integrated development environments, or IDEs for short, that integrate the editor, the compiler, or interpreter, as well as other features. Once code is saved in a file, it needs to be translated from the language that it's written in to a special machine language that the computer can understand. What a compiler does is it translates from the language into what is called an executable file that the computer can then run or execute. So again, we create an executable file. This means that there are actually two steps: compiling the code and then executing it. An interpreter, on the other hand, goes through the code one line at a time, translating and executing as it goes. What a compiler does is a compiler translates the original program, called the source code, into an executable file that is called the object code. So some type of editor is used to enter and save the program in a file to begin with. So we have a cycle of steps that we go through. First, we create the file and save it using the editor. Then we compile it using the compiler. That creates the executable file, which we then execute. So we go through these steps, 1, 2, 3, and then if you find once you've run or executed the program that it needs to have some modifications made to it, then you go back and you start this all over again. So you go back into the editor, you modify and save the file, you compile it again, you execute it again, and you keep going through that cycle until you get the program to work.